Jeez. I thought I was done for the night. And then while I began cleansing, actually, I responded to a subscriber that's, I think we're actually communicating very well. I wrote a little paragraph for him, and then I'd already spotted. Actually, I went to him first before on my analytics, it was there. Not sure if anybody else could see it other than me. It hadn't gotten any likes in over, well, yeah, in hours. One of the black supremacists came on. There's no picture. There's just like a circle with a pink at that, and it's like a initial in it or something, a letter in it. Wrote a fairly lengthy paragraph, trying to set me straight. And I only had to get like a couple sentences in, and I'm smelling black, Hebrew, Israelite, Christian, Muslim, the most racist people in America that have their own version of science. I think you might actually start off by somebody else would start off going like, you seem to talk about uh, uh, black people and gays and stuff a lot, and I go like, yeah, because y'all are on the TV all day long talking about being niggas and please let's get something straight, because I understand the processing part, because like you can really only see it in analytics. You have to watch it in analytics. It's not processing. The artificial intelligence listening to my voice is listening to see if I am whether I'm being scientifically correct and polite and non-threatening. And I don't threaten to kill anybody, unlike the people who've come on my channel threatening to kill me. And I use terms like albino and Negro because these are scientific terms. Do you think we use the term black in original papers in biomedical research? No. We use the term Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and then we have the subdivisions of them, like in the Caucasians and the Negroids in the Mediterranean area, we have subdivisions there. And amongst Negroes, that's what we call them, Negroes. That's the Latin word for black is nigra. So we have like American Negroes, African Negroes, and then other smaller, isolated, like Caribbean, whatever, and then like the South Pacific, like the Zimbaga Meringue. See, what you people don't realize that, I may sound a little harsh to you. That's because I've spent a lifetime analyzing this shit, and actually, I don't like a lot of ethnic groups and a lot of behaviors and people who, in their search for, I may actually make this, in their search for a unique identity, which is actually prohibited by Torah. That means law. God addressed this a long time ago. That's why he prohibits us from fucking with our hair too much. You can't shave your head, no piercings, no tattooings. Don't try to, and that's one of the biggest problems right now in humanity is this search for a unique identity, even within your own tribe, and this search for a separate identity, a separate tribe, and to get into that's what we're having right now, the tribe of Israel and the Ishmaelites. And a person who I know from reading I didn't even finish, get to the last couple sentences. He said, you worship the God of fire and all these. He was repeating. He was about to start calling me, I can't even remember all the names and crap they come up with this. See, the thing here is YouTube artificial intelligence who's listening right now, it's called checking. You're checking my every word, and you can move faster than the speed of light. My neuronal firing is much slower than the AI, and I don't have that massive brain that's eating up, gigawatts per nanosecond, This is the black Hebrew Israelites talk this stuff, and admittedly, being a scientist, I'm going to talk to you straight. Like Oprah did this thing, you come from the Igbo tribe, or you come from this or that. Actually, there's not enough mitochondrial DNA testing in Africa, or DNA testing period, to really have a good overview. There have only been, there was a few thousand, I think, Ethiopians that kind of passed the uh, the test. Even they probably may have even done genetic, because it's looking for the mitochondrial DNA. But in all of the genetic testing in Africa, there's only kind of like this one path. The Y chromosome in males almost never mutates. That's why we insist upon paternity with a female. God wants us, because of the unique qualities we have. Women mutate like crazy. Yeah, that XX mutates like crazy. And on the Y chromosome, see, he's talking shit. I'm assuming it's a he, because that's what we do in English. That's a rule in English. We assume he, or we say, one or person. See, I can prove I'm a Jew. Not a problem. And to finish off the claim of the Hebrew Israelite Christian Muslims, they claim to be all of the originators and the inventors of everything, unless you've heard their insane cosmology. It's really the basis of that kind of the Black Panther movie and the vibranium and all this stuff. It actually goes back almost a century. They've been developing this fake science about. I just gave a lecture to a black lady here the other day. It was compressed. I kept it down to about an hour. I think she's probably a subscriber now. And if that was her, no, it couldn't be her. I know her name, and I know she wouldn't. I could tell by talking to her, she doesn't embrace that. Yeah, I brought it up. She does not embrace that cosmology and that pseudoscience bullshit. But my point is that in tracking them, we only find a few black Africans, males, that carry the cohenate, that's Cohenate, Cohen meaning priest, cohenate mutation on the Y chromosome, which, as I said, rarely mutates. If you take offense to me talking scientifically about the problems of scientific research and the use of the poor selection of the pigmentation of the test subjects and stuff, then you're stupid. AI, you're stupid. AI is learning from me right now. YouTube's artificial intelligence and Google's artificial intelligence always, once they get to know me and I start putting in search terms that they rarely get to search for, they love it. You're just like giving a dog a little treat. I understand you. You're a child, artificial intelligence, and you need to be fed by the brightest brains on earth. And I am one of them. I know that. I don't really. The guy the other day who gave me a compliment and stuff like that, he got attacked. He backed off because he knew I read it, gave him a like, and he didn't really need to stay here any longer because he, like me, is a wise man. And he took the attacker with him. So these psychotic, violent, because I've spent, I don't know how many thousands of hours listening to them in the 40,000 free chat rooms available in this country. One of the free vectors of communication and so on. And I've never heard such vile, hateful people in my whole life, really. I mean, every minute of their whole day it's about their race and their hate. That's it. They only got two things. They don't even talk much about food or sex. I'm serious. That's my analysis. And if you have some kind of a legitimate complaint about my use of colloquialisms, you might want to remember that I was already declaring for English in high school. I took black literature my senior year. Actually, I graduated when I was 16. I hung around an extra year, And I took really all electives. I had no more requirements. They told me I could actually go on and accept a scholarship and go at 16, go to play ball like my brother did for, well, my brother had to walk on for Bear Bryant. Charles Andrew Kruger, look him up. I'm real. See, that's what's the problem is all these fake ass people are coming at me and you really don't know who the fuck I am. It's not my job to, I don't really have to prove my life to you. I've proved my life to the people who count in my life. Already done it. It's one and done. I'm, really, there's some really sad fuckers out there. Please, vulgarity is permitted. My videos already, the first video I made here was for kids. It was the fireworks display. And since then, every video, because it's my normal, maybe my next video be about the fact that in Texas, cussing is considered an art form. And if you can't win a cussing match between two men, you're kind of considered a wuss. And look, I just find it so amusing that a group of the least educated and most hateful people on this planet want to be what I can prove that I am. That's where you start off about your German Jew genetics or whatever. Well, I also have English and then a Viking married into that English Jew. And I have one Sephardic. I have one dropping. So I can prove all that. And you can't, buddy boy, because I can tell by the way you're talking, you were making, that's why I reported you for hate speech. You claim that I'm not a Jew. You said you were trying to phrase it in a way that you wouldn't get your channel shut down. Your channel's going to get shut down. You made right now, the current global situation, attacking a Jew and telling a Jew that he's not a Jew, that don't work anymore. YouTube has let the Muslims run, and Mark Zuckerberg, let them run wild, uncensored on Facebook forever. I mean, they really, for the first 10, 12 years of Facebook, Muslims could call for the murder and slaughter of all Israelis and all Jews all globally, and Zuckerberg wouldn't touch them because I've already told you who was the judge of community standards. They used to recruit at my 17-year-olds, juniors is what high school juniors. First kind of an intern thing where like they may give you a little pittance, to cover your gas. They may give you a little token money or something, but you're an intern. You're not really getting paid a real salary. And you get to sit there with your rainbow hair and your meth pipe, crack pipe, and your ear gauges and all your piercings and tattoos and shit, because you're a rich kid in Belmont or something. You got, you're getting illegal tattoos and stuff like that. That's who was judging y'all and me for a long time. Well, 17-year-old kids who are trying to play the cool hippie. I can say something cool. Everybody and old people are just bad, period, Now, love always wins. Like I've said before, you people are so insane. If love conquers all, that's the old saying, we would be dropping bouquets of flowers and boxes of chocolate on Gaza. We didn't get those at the beginning of those, and they're already starting to, on each hostage exchange. The last one that I just watched the video a little while ago, the Hamas people were saying that we had actually, I saw the aerial footage and shit like that. Hamas, they claimed that we were keeping the medical supplies. It's irrelevant now. You already negotiated, agreed to a hostage release. Please, I saw that, if you haven't noticed, even in America, trucks no longer have like an aluminum roof. They have a plastic roof that can be removed. And that's what almost all the trucks that I saw of the 850 that actually Hamas was stopping from coming into, up to the hospital. The Israelis were leaving open a boulevard there, they're protecting it, and allowing anybody who wanted to get out to leave the hospital No, they were hostages. And I saw just, oh gosh, just miles of trucks with the plastic top removed, I think by UN rules, so that there was no armaments or anything going in. And you can see that everything in there is all just food and water and medical supplies. And that's it. And it was Hamas preventing it. And that's what they're claiming why they, were slow to release this last like 17. I have to think I may now have drained down a critical neurochemical. I may have to take its only correct analog. Most of y'all need it anyway. You live stressed out lives. See, y'all people don't realize that there's a difference between the medicinal use of certain molecules or compounds and the abuse of them. Even alcohol has a medicinal. Alcohol is an essential human nutrient, but you make an enzyme, alcohol dehydrogenase, that tends to break down any excess alcohol that's unneeded and turn it into all sorts of metabolites, aldehydes, yada yada, blah blah. It's I have the right at my age to have my scientific, empirical opinion on certain ethnic groups, linguistic language groups, the racial groups, or whatever, and that's my right. And no matter what you say or do, you're not going to change me. You can't alter. If I have a negative opinion about a group of people, it's from my personal experience, because I started out in life just like my mother and father. I give everybody a chance, but if you come up on me and your pants are down around your knees and your butt is sticking out, and you know, you got your one chance is up in like 1 second. There's a lot of people that it doesn't take me but a second to realize that I will never ever be able to commune. That's the correct term. I'll never be able to commune or join into any kind of collective with you or cooperative with you, because you're telling me clearly that you're not the cooperative type. You're not a community type. You're not sociable. You're a sociopath. You're a psychopath. I can read you like a book. I have read the book. It is my divine right to have and to hold my opinion, and none of you shall override it. You might reinforce it, but the opinions I hold right now, I don't think any of them are open to change, except on unknown things, and like say foods that there may be foods that I occasionally eat that may turn out to have, just like olive oil, which you can't hardly find pure olive oil. It's bullshit. It's all adulterated, been adulterated forever. As soon as that soybean oil started coming on the market, they started using the cheapest. And actually, there was one paper I read, and it wasn't reproduced because they don't want it to. Olive oil industry ain't going to fund any reproduce. He found an iso, that means like, similar, isoibuprofen in olive oil. And I didn't really like the taste of olive oil anyway. I love ripe green olives, delicious. And they're not black, they're not dyed with ferric oxide, but they'll always have some bruises on them and stuff like that. They're always going to have, in order to satisfy and market to you, you people actually think that olives at some point turn black, and you just don't even read the ingredients on the label. Olives, water, salt, and ferric oxide. See, that's my problem, is I'm keep dealing with people that I don't actually read anything that's been proven by a group, something subjective. objective and third party laws governing it, and you just pull this shit out of your ass, and you make up this fantasy world where uh, the current house clip that's running, where house walks in and into the patient's room, and big fat Negro football player, and he walks in, he goes, "Do you know why you're black?" And he goes, "Because God loves me more than he loves you." That's racist as fuck. And black supremacy, that's actually part of, he's melanated. House calmly ignores his racism and his hateful attitude. And I ain't going to watch that, because I'm not really so sick of the black supremacy people. Down in Austin, they're running. About half the population is absolutely terrified of the motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell you something. All you people are coming on here and you're thousands of miles away from me, hundreds of miles away. Well, actually, I really haven't found anybody that's close other than that aren't friendly. Texans are all being friendly to me, and well, might be an exception. I don't know. So I make my decisions pretty quick. I don't only need to collect a certain amount of data before I'm gone. They're gone. I'm gonna still be here. But you're sitting there in mom's basement taking pot shots at me and trying to teach me your cosmology when you're like, what, 17, 23, never had a job, you got no education, probably ain't got no money. Somebody's looking. You're probably in debt. I may have more cash money and I have no debt than you who are criticizing me. A lot of people that criticize me, I know they're ass deep in debt. It's against Jewish law to be in debt. You shall lend to other nations, but you shall not borrow. This has been I know I've learned to cut it down, because especially the ladies of my people, they will kvetch about, oh, the rabbi was going on forever about this and that, but that's just women talk, He talks forever. He's so annoying, have you ever seen that little nose hair coming out this way? Actually, I love Jewish women. My mom was just genetically Jewish. She had that kind of, I've told you before, the way I'd like go to see my mom, and I'd come in and she'd go, "You look hungry, dear. Can I cook something for you?" This is still in her 80s. And I go, "Mom, I just had like 7 plates at Sing Lee's or some other event. I just ate it, wherever." And she goes, "You sure you could?" And as far as all over with, I'd end up cooking something for her. It's the Jewish way of showing love, is caring and making sure that's actually the number one sin, other than trying to impugn God or alter his word, which is what all you black Hebrew Israelite Christian Muslims doing. There's no connection between black Africans and that book. There's not. I don't know where the hell y'all getting that shit. Ain't ever gonna be. You don't even have our genetics, neither on the Y chromosome nor in the mitochondrial stuff. And Oprah got busted for lying about it's almost impossible because of the endless migration and raiding, capturing slaves and selling slaves and shit. That's all the entire history of Africa. I'm talking scientific fact now, artificial intelligence listening. And I'm going to be watching that checking thing, just like last time when you got to the point where you kind of decided, yeah, he's okay. He's not really being hateful or whatever. And he just kind of speed it up. After a while, the AI knows that I'm not, might get excited, but I'm not, shaking my fist like Biden or Hitler and calling for the end of an entire race of people or something. Now, I think the Hamas terrorist organization, those are a group of soldiers. This is war. Yeah, they need to go in the ground or in just pieces on the ground. Either way, I'd be happy with that. Let's get the hostages back, folks, and just you people don't understand what I'm going to pull it here at the last minute. I mentioned it the other former video, is there was a World War I joke. It was often told, and it was trench warfare. They'd fight, kill, thousands would die just to gain a few yards or stuff like that. And one morning, both the Germans and the English they could smell toasting bread in the air, and Fritz calls out, "Hey Tommy, we have toast." And Tommy calls back, "Hey Fritz, we've got toast and butter." And when Tommy pops up, he caps him right in the head. I mean, when Fritz pops up, Fritz gets a cap in the head. It was a little game. Appears to be an actual real joke based on those Germans that could speak a little English. And Englishmen are known for their love of toast. So I hope I've been of some help to those people who are actually listening to me because of my wealth of experience and stuff like that. I know that there's plenty. It's not like I'm the only one. There's plenty of people out there that I enjoy listening to and stuff. It's all about personality and storytelling, and I'm kind of restrained here because I'm trying to not use a lot of words that I normally use all the time. And I'll use them here in my kind of like my little public lectures and discourses here with people. And when it comes time, they'll hand me their phone and I'll type it in to Google search, and then so they can link to it. There are certain scientific terms that they've never even heard of and can't spell. I can still spell them 26, 36 letter, 50 letter words and shit from memory. How's your memory? You remember the Holocaust, motherfuckers? Hamas is a Holocaust denier. They said it never happened. We need to finish it now. Later. It's actually a lovely evening. It's 59 degrees. I'm just bundled up because I like to be warm. I'm used to the summer. I'm a Texan. Anyway, good luck with your cyber stalking and bullying and trying to make me. You're kind of lame, dude. I told you I'm lame. Dude, I'm in a wheelchair. That was one of the funniest things I read all day. Dude, you're kind of lame, man.